Carol and Brian, and we are part of Amanda Farrell's Story Dog team out in Cleveland, in the sunny Bayside area of Brisbane. We help children at Hilliard State School in Alexander Hills. We're quite new. We've probably only done about, 5 or 6 sessions, but we are loving it. Brian is a 6-year-old Australian Labradoodle from Bellissimo Labradoodles in Rockhampton. My husband Martin and I, we both grew up with dogs and we'd always owned rescue dogs, but this time around we just couldn't find one that would fit in with our lifestyle, and to be honest, I had this urge to own an oodle. Now Martin wanted a big dog and I wanted a small soppy dog, so we ended up with a big soppy dog. It became apparent quite early that Brian was a people dog. He always greets humans before other dogs, and in particular he just loves children. So when Amanda put it out there she was looking for volunteers, several friends who knew Brian contacted me to say, you know what, Brian would be brilliant at this. Brian's a lovely dog to have around the home. Of course he gets heaps of exercise, so he never pesters us other than the nighttime treat. He's a little bit odd in as much as I often find him watching me in mirrors. So I'm a victim of COVID. I used to have a long career in the travel industry, and when that ended I found myself at a bit of a loose end. So I thought, well, I'm a grandmother, I love reading books, I love showing off a little bit, so I thought, you know what, let's throw my hat in the ring and let's sign us up. Now I was very nervous at the assessment process. My biggest issue was the fact that Brian was required to walk past food. Now when it comes to food, the Labrador in him comes out. He did okay and he passed. But on our first visit to the school, we were walking along, I felt so proud, and then all of a sudden Brian lunged into the bushes with me in tow at the end of the lead, and he came out with sausages in his mouth. I think it was probably somebody's discarded lunch. I was so embarrassed and I was just absolutely devastated. Once we were accepted into the programme, I approached Victoria Point Veterinary Hospital and asked them to sponsor us, as Brian was one of their first puppies when they opened their doors, and also where Brian graduated from puppy school. So they know him very well and they were absolutely delighted. So thank you VPVH. I love the fact that I'm giving Brian a sense of duty and plenty of stimulation. He has that look of pride when he jumps into the car in his uniform and makes a 10-minute drive to school. And when we are at school, the children love him, of course. And I remember the trepidation and angst on their faces when they first met us at the classroom door. They were nervous, I was nervous, but Brian wasn't. There is a lot to be learned from a dog. I love the fact that we found Story Dogs. In fact, Story Dogs found us. I love the fact that he's so content. I have lots of fun too, and I'm glad that the children have lots of fun. So thank you, Story Dogs.
Story Dogs is a phenomenal charity